where I turn it loud.
This is Troy Taylor with the Coach McNally podcast. Coach McNally has been working since 4 a.m. on this podcast. Coach, we already got 13 people, and they're on. What do you have to say to your following, Coach?
Well, I'm glad they're on. I know every minute I've been checking 9 bells, and then I flip up and I see who's tweeted me or whatever, and then I get 9 more bells, and I get 9 more bells, and I get 10 bells, and I get 8 bells. It never stops. So I guess we're just all belled out.
Yes, Coach. Has anybody got a question for Coach McNally before we get going? He's posted a lot of posts. He even performed a dance. He got working out, started doing the foot fire. If you got a question, hit Coach McNally up. Coach McNally, do you understand Twitter now?
No, I do not fucking understand Twitter, and it's a pain in the ass because I send some tweets out and then it says it goes to draft. Then it doesn't go through. Then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, it appears. It goes through. So I don't understand the draft. Here's what I know how to do. I can go to my profile and then open me up and then see tweets and replies. Everything else is Greek to me.
Okay, Coach. Well, one thing that is not Greek to you is offensive line play. And Coach has prepared some slides for y'all. So, Coach, you just tell me when to go.
Okay, go ahead and play this one here. I think it's voiced.
There's game clips of the center uses the long arm reach. Trying to get that backside pendulum under the chin, okay? Hit that guy under the chin with the back of your fist and then grab the cloth right underneath his neck. Hook him if you can, okay? If not, throw him out. Look at the separation when you lock the arm out.
These are reach blocks by the center using a backside long arm. If they get them hooked, they walk around them. If they don't, they torque them out and the ball goes underneath. Run that back.
Let's go to guards. Now, with guards and tackles, it's mostly used on the backside, okay?
This is the left guard.
All right. So let's look at the backside guard.
Right guard.
Watch the right guard here. Watch him get long. Same thing.
Position, so he walks around them and hooks them.
All right, Coach, you've already got questions, Coach.
Okay.
Coach, how would you generally set up your individual period?
It's got nothing to do with that play, though. No, really. No, I'm not a smart ass. I'll take care of everybody. But let's concentrate on the plays. I'll answer this question, but that's not the way we want to go. We want to talk only about the videos we show because we've been working all day on those questions. But how do we set up the individual? I get out on the field a half hour before practice. I have an assistant coach that's usually with me on, and I might take the centers and guards and he takes the tackles. Okay, then for 15 minutes, I might take just the centers and he might take the guards and tackles, work on whatever we do. But pretty much during our practice, we have an individual period and I have an assistant coach. And sometimes I use the players to coach. If I want to coach the guards, the tackles, the centers, on whatever technique, but I use as many coaches as I can, even if I have to use players to coach the position. But it goes like everybody else. We have individual, and then we have group periods, which might be like 9-on-7 or inside run. Then they might have a special teams period where most of my linemen are with me and we work on pass protection then. And then we have a pass protection period where we go against the defense. And then we have different team periods.
So the bald Coach K says mouse and fire. Now, Coach Ian Tatum is the coach that heard you when he was 19. And he knew after hearing you, Coach, that he wanted to be a coach. And he wanted to join us. So I let him come, Coach. You want to run this back, or you go with this one, Coach?
I'll run it back a little bit.
All right.
We're talking about the center using a reach block with his backside arm, throwing it underneath the chin and grabbing the cloth right underneath the chin and getting locked
Here's
out.
game clips of the center uses the long arm reach.
Hey, Coach,
No,
I'm going to mute you. You talk now.
All right. If the guy keeps going wide, the center torques him out, throws him out, the ball cuts up. If the center gets position on him, he walks around him like he hooks him. But because the centers are so close to the ball, if they can get that backside arm up there from the ground up as fast as they can, they get separation and they play long. They got length and they can see what to do rather than getting mired in with a rip, you know what I mean, or a flipper, blah, blah, blah.
And that's Kelsey.
That's Kelsey. And they basically take a drop step and a crossover. This is the left guard.
On a 2-eye.
Yeah, he locked that backside arm out. Okay, here's the right guard. It's common sense. Just fucking look at the play. You shouldn't even have any questions.
Hey, Coach, this is the one right here.
Run that again.
This is the one. Check my player,
right,
Coach Morgan Moses.
Yeah, 75. I'm not looking at Moses. I don't give a shit about him. I'm looking at 75.
Coach, got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so is he gonna switch back as soon as the center takes off at the second level? Is that when he's gonna flip his hips on that?
He's gonna flip his hips if he gets position on him. He's gonna flip his hips like he's gonna hook him. Okay, like he's gonna. Okay, I'm going to reach the guy. Okay, I go this way. I'm going to reach the guy. Okay, I've got him reached. Then I walk around him. I hook him. Whatever. If he keeps going, I throw him. I do it with the other hand. I throw him out. And the ball comes underneath. I don't keep two hands on the guy. Good question.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead and play it. This is voiced, Coach.
Here's a great example of the backside guard, Kevin Zeitler, using a long arm reach. You know, this is the one where he drop steps, he crosses over, and he sticks that backside long arm hand right underneath the chin, okay, and then walks around the block. That's the same thing as the center used on those long arm reach blocks, okay? So if you want to reach block a guy, use the power hook or the long arm reach. Here it is by the backside guard. I love it.
Yeah, that's a long-armed reach by the backside guard who gets fully extended with that backside arm. There's no wasted motion. He doesn't wind up. He just comes from the ground up. Like he just comes, if I'm going this way, he just comes, snaps the ball and comes from the ground up and grabs right underneath here like that. Okay? He grabs that part of the jersey with the reach block, with the, you know, if I'm reaching this way, okay, you know, I'm reaching, what the fuck? I'm reaching, I can't get this thing going.
Just turn around the other way and do it.
Yeah. Well, okay, but if I'm going to go reach the guy, okay, and I'm going to reach him, okay, and I get underneath his chin, and I just keep running with him. If he keeps going, I torque him out, okay? If I get the position on him, okay, then I just walk around him and hook him, just like that was on the film. Okay, go to the next one. Okay, this is the right guard torquing a guy. Okay, now when I say torquing, you got to run it back, coach. Okay, so you can stop it and then we'll run it back. What I'm saying, this linebacker blitzes. Okay, the guard's on a double team. He's looking for the run through. But you see how he torques him? What I'm saying to you, he uses his right arm to kind of come across his body to throw the guy. He just doesn't drive him. He uses the defensive guy's momentum to put him on the ground. Okay, watch his right arm torque or twist the linebacker when he runs through. Boom. That's torquing, twisting. Okay, now we have any questions about that?
All right, let me check, Coach. Yeah, we got
Don't
some.
go to the next play yet.
We got some questions, Coach.
Okay.
All right, Ethan Stump wants to know, can you speak to the specific footwork on this reach long arm technique again?
Okay. The blocker would take a drop step. Okay. That means that he would drop his near foot. Okay. Or he could just plain cross over, widen his base a little bit, and just take a crossover step. Okay. Whether he drop steps or he just crosses over with his back foot and the backside arm comes up. Okay. Like I'm going to my left. That arm comes up like that and it tries to get right up underneath the chin and grab cloth to grab something, but it gets locked out, just a full lockout. Okay. And I'm on an angle and I've got length. What the length does for me, it lets me decide whether I want to turn and hook the guy because I've got position on him, or I want to continue and after he goes 2 or 3 steps, torque him, throw him.
All right, we have another question here from James Kirian. What happens if the defensive lineman backdoors as you go to walk around?
We're zone to zone. Every possible play we have that's not a double team play or a pin and pull play, the backside guard's always there. We don't run any plays where the backside guard does not protect the A gap or the front side guard doesn't protect the B gap. Every play that's a zone play, zone is zone. You're not really blocking a man. You may start out blocking a man, but you have to cover your inside or your outside gap. Period. Okay, play the next one. Here's a Detroit tight end. All right, freeze it. Can you kind of freeze it when he's in the middle of the block a little bit? You go back just a little bit. You're doing a good job, coach. All right. One more step back. Okay. All right. Okay, go forward. Okay, go forward a little bit. And now go a little more. Okay. A little farther. Okay, there's a tight end for Detroit. He's playing long. You don't have to know necessarily the play or whatever. That's playing long. You see, he's not sticking his helmet in. He's not sticking his shoulders in. He's not headbutting the guy. He's playing long. Okay. Now, on certain blocks, we match the guy, which most of you have seen, where we take the inside hand and throw him out and the outside hand hits him in the chest. But the bottom line is that's the best way to play football. Play long. Don't use the shoulders, the flippers, whatever. This is just a general concept. And I wouldn't worry so much about what the play is, where the play is going. I'm not using it to coach the tight end. I'm using it to show you how a guy plays long and doesn't get mired into the block, because you see, you've got space and time to decide what you want to do. When you play short, you're mired into the guy and he can pull you and throw you and grab you, etc. Okay. Their question on playing long. Just generally playing long. You can play long with one arm. You can play long with two arms. Okay. Blah, blah, blah.
Ethan Stump says, can you bump cameras to top corner of screen? They're sort of on top of the clip. Okay, so let me see. There you go. Is that better? All right. So that's it, Coach.
Okay, we'll show it again then. Show the block. The guy could be right head up with you. He could be outside of you. You know, there may be various hand punches, but just the concept of playing long, arching your back, keeping your head out, using your length is a big key. Okay, right tackle, right there. All right. This is the right tackle. He's going to turn out on the guy, and he's going to play long. You see the length of his arms? And if the defensive guy's arms are longer than his, he'll at least get under his elbows and lift his elbows. Okay, any questions?
Ethan Stump says perfect. So he must. And Jim Tim, our favorite guy from Rochester, New York, says use your leverage.
Well, I would say that's perfect, but use your length. I don't know if length is leverage, but if it does correlate to it, then perfect.
All right, so now we're on the claw, Coach.
Okay, I don't know where to buy this machine. I don't know anything about the machine. All I know is this kid is trying to lift and play long. Run it back from the start. What I'm saying to you, you see how his feet are behind him? All right. You see how he's lifting and shoving and locking out his arms? He's trying to play long with some resistance. Okay. Play it one more time. Okay. 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 That's a drill right there where they're trying to get long, length. Okay. All right. Now, this is also a drill where they're playing long, but it would be like maybe a pass block and they get pushed, or it could be a run block and the guy on defense stalemates you. And when he stalemates you and you can't do anything, you hop back. See him hop back? See him? So it could be a run block where the guys fit in and he gets pushed back, so he hops. It could be a pass block and the guy hops back. But again, they're always trying to keep their length. And so what this is, they're using that claw thing, that claw device, and when they get pushed or stalemated, they hop back so they can start over again. Because when you hop back, you lower your center of gravity to reset your hands.
Okay, we have a comment from one of your former players from the Giants, Coach. You see him down there, Richard?
I see him, and he was a walk-on, not a walk-on. He was a free agent guard, and he was from Western Illinois, and he was about 6'3". If you stretched him, he'll tell you he was 6'4", but he was one of the very best offensive linemen I've ever coached. Number 69, Richie Seubert. He broke his leg against the Eagles, and he had to have a full year off with a total knee repair, and it was unbelievable. And he ended up playing in the Super Bowl when the Giants beat the Patriots. And he's one of my favorite players ever.
Wow, Coach. He says, how I miss those meetings with you, Mouse. Good stuff you got. I saw on Twitter, Coach, that somebody said that there's only one Mouse Davis. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think Mouse Davis was a West Coast guy. I'm an East Coast guy. We had similar names. He was probably 15 years older than me. We probably got our nickname from two different situations.
All right. So Scott Curd said, what is the lower body coaching points on playing long? But he said he covered it with the clips using the claw device. So Scott is really paying attention, Coach. He gets a helmet sticker.
I'm excited with Scott. So basically, the first few clips are talking about playing long. Whatever block you use, pass, run, don't play short. Don't play like, if they can all see me, don't play like this. Don't play with the flippers. Don't play with the shoulder. Don't play with the rip, the uppercut rip with the shoulder. They'll grab you and pull you. Play long. Everything is play long. And the whole key is to playing long is how fast can you get the hand up. Watch how fast I get the hand up. Boom, boom, boom. Cleveland actually, when they do a combination block on like a zone play, their guard, like versus a one technique, when he comes off the ball, he'll come off just like this. Use the heel of the hand, boom, and drive and whatever. He has this much length. So I told Coach Callahan, why don't you just line up with your fucking hands like this? Stance and be like this. And you only have to go a little bit. I do it. I would actually do it because the guy that gets his hands on the defender first wins, period. End of story. Play long.
Ethan Stump.
Fuck those forearms. Fuck those shoulders. Fuck those rips where you uppercut with a shoulder. Now, occasionally a center might have to rip with his shoulder because he's so close to the ball versus a tight nose. But I would still try to get long on all of my blocks.
Ethan Stump wants to know, is there any specific ways, techniques, defenses can use the length against the O-lineman?
Yeah, on every block. Every single block. Every block. Now, one block might be the outside hand goes first and the inside hand lifts. Okay. One block might be the inside hand goes first and then the outside hand lifts. One might be both hands go first. It all depends on the alignment of the defender, where the ball's going, etc. Is this the next? What did we skip one?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, is this voiced? No, it's not. Okay. Here's a running back. Here's an example of a center in a drill, like on an inside zone. Okay. That when the defender starts to move, watch his left hand throw the guy. He'll take his right hand probably to the gut and then see his left hand high on the pad. He's torquing him. He's twisting him. He's using his momentum. He's trying to play long with his opposite hand and torque him out rather than just continue to drive him. If you just continue to see that guy, see him twist, whatever you want to call it, a twist block, a torque block, whatever. Okay, I'd finish all blocks with a torque. Okay, with one long arm throw. See him throw? Now, somebody from the backside missed a block, but that was a good example of a center torquing the defender after he moves a little bit. Watch 60 again, or 61. Okay, he'll be the center. Watch him at the last minute throw the guy right there. See him? Use his momentum against him. Okay? You can lift the guy or torque a guy. Don't just push him. Push him is when you come out with two hands, the old kind of drive block where you come out like this. Everything should be lifting, or torquing after you're playing long. It's not rocket science. Don't play
We got
short.
a question. We got a question, Coach. Rick Kramer wants to know, what do you teach offensive line as response to defensive line chop of long arm technique?
Well, first of all, you know the snap count. Second of all, the defensive guy is usually in a 2-point or a 3-point stance. And if you do it properly, you're going to get your hands on him before he's going to get his hands on you. Okay? And if for some reason that he chops it down, okay, then you reset yourself, like hop back, which puts you back on your center of gravity. I see more of that like on a pass, but even on a pass, if I was going to play long, I'll get on the other side. If I was going to shoot this hand and the guy knocked it down, as soon as I shoot it, I bring it back and it gets me back on my center of gravity. Don't just leave it out there. But the point is, if you're really proactive, like if I'm an offensive lineman, like on a pass block, okay, and I'm working to my outside, okay, and I'm working out here, boom, boom. 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to get my hand on him before he can hardly get out of his stance, particularly if I keep my shoulders square. If I turn, I'm dead. He hits me in the chest. But if I keep my shoulders square, okay, Soyber will remember Bober. I had him pump the outside arm. If this was the right tackle going to his outside, okay, I'd have him pump his outside arm, which would keep his shoulders square. The more you keep your shoulders square, particularly on pass blocking, the defensive guy only has his shoulder to hit. When you turn your whole body, he can hit you in the chest or go around you. So the point I'm saying is when you're playing long, you have to be proactive. Proactive means you have to hit him before he hits you. He doesn't know you're going to stick the long arm out, because if you just come out there naturally and your hands are moving, or you're playing football, he'll knock it down. But if you're proactive, you'll get him first.
Coach McNally, I got a question. Well, got a comment. If you're playing long arm and you're independent hands, whatever you want to call it, one arm, he knocks it down, it's going to turn that guy's shoulders. You twerk him with the other hand, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. Yeah.
But the first thing to do, if he knocks it down, you're going to fall on your face.
Yeah.
So as soon as you stick it out there and punch him, pull it back, and that will get you back on your own center. If you just leave it there and he knocks it down, so every time you strike with a long arm on pass, pull it back, and that resets your hips and brings your whole body back to your base alignment. So if I was going to get my hand knocked down, okay, let's use this hand right here, okay? So I'm coming out on pass blocking, and I get my hand knocked down, okay? As soon as I throw it, I bring it back and reset again, okay? Because if I just leave it there, I'll fall on my face. So you've got to train the guys when they use a long arm punch on pass pro to separate right away for two reasons. You might get picked on a twist, or they might knock it down. Now, if you got it right, if you keep getting it, you can just latch onto the guy. But you also got to be worried about twists.
Yeah.
So my point is, when you're playing long on pass blocking, after you strike the guy, pull it back and set back, and you'll reset your own center, so you're not going to fall on your face and him beat you around the corner. Kind of a hard description, but whatever.
All right.
Next.
Yeah, I got to turn. This is the kid in the field house. I got it ready now, Coach. The kid in the field house, and I had to mute this one, right, because of the
yeah. Okay, now this guy. Right, all right, just let me talk first. This guy, let's say he's a right tackle and he's blocking a guy on his outside shoulder. Don't worry about the footwork. He may have to move his right foot over a little bit to get square on the guy, blah, blah, blah. But here is even a closer look at playing long. Now, as you'll note, his hands come under. He doesn't push like old school pushing. He comes under the guy. See him come under? You see how fast those hands come? First touch wins. And he's going to, now, as he's driving him, okay, this is just a drill. The defensive guy would certainly come forward. He wouldn't let you block him, right? So as you're driving the guy, if he just kind of bulls you, you lift him. If he moves, you move with him and torque him, okay? But you initially play long. And I think maybe the defensive guy's arms were a little longer than the offensive guy. So maybe the offensive guy only got underneath the armpit. Carolyn, could you turn it down just a little because it's important? They can't hear the clinic. Thank you. Okay.
That was awesome.
6 of one, half dozen the other. My wife says I'm too loud, and I say the TV's too loud. Okay, who are we playing next? What's the next video?
My fault, Coach. You just tell me I got to add it to the stream. I'm sitting here looking at it by myself.
Here's why on every block: run, pass, front side, back side. Okay, watch 74, the tight end. All right. Okay, he's on the back side of an ISO play. All right, and he's got like a 6 or a 7. He kind of uses a double under, all right? And he drives the guy. Watch him. He pulls the right arm off right there. See him pull it off? See him pull it off? Watch him throw the guy to the ground. Watch him throw the guy to the ground. If he kept 2 hands on the guy would just sling him and get away from him. But at least you put the guy on the ground. Now, you might throw him close to the ball carrier, but so what? You've pancaked the guy. He's not in as great a position to make the tackle. 1 arm is longer than 2. Finish all blocks with an opposite arm torque on every block. So there was just an example of a tackle that came in to play tight end. And even though most of the time, if he continues to move laterally and you throw him properly, the running back will actually cut back underneath the throw of a backside lineman. But if you just keep driving him, you'll drive him right into the ball carrier and you'll never finish the guy. Okay. Next. So this is a mid-zone play. Here, they're not trying to get real wide, even though it's hard to tell, because you can see that the back kind of open steps. He's really running for the inside or butt leg of the tackle. So the center and the front side guard are working together, but that's why the front side guard, see him look finish at it. With the backside arm. The right guard. So it's basically kind of a drive block, but a torque. Now, if it was a wide zone and the running back was running for the butt of the tight end, you really wouldn't do this because you might throw him right into the ball carrier. But this is more a play going over the guard, inside leg of the tackle, somewhere in a mid-zone area. But the only reason I'm using this is showing you a torque finish. Always finish all blocks with the opposite arm. Now, there shouldn't really be any questions there because the proof is in the pudding. You're seeing it. You're seeing, and we call it circular force. Okay? Circular means circular. You're using your hips. You pull 1 arm off and you get long and you use his momentum against yourself. You're seeing it over and over and over again. And if you don't exactly know how to do it, trial and error, you'll figure it out.
Ethan Stump wants to know, is that tackle piercing the line of scrimmage too soon on this? I don't know if the question was for the one before.
Is that the question that we're talking about?
Ethan, will you respond to that? Probably not, Coach.
Okay, run it back one more time because Ethan's now asking a question that's got nothing to do with the point
Is
of
it
the
here?
video I'm using. But run it back.
Let me see if Ethan, he hasn't responded, Coach. We'll
Yeah,
come.
but so you've lost the clip basically?
No, sir. I got all the clips right here.
No, but we'll go back to it anyway because I'll still answer the question.
Okay, so which one you want to go back to? This is the you want the one
63 through the guy.
the torque.
The torque.
Coach, I gotta hop off. I appreciate y'all having me on here. I'm gonna watch the rest of them on replay tomorrow.
Okay, good
Thank
night.
you.
Y'all have a good night.
Night. So I'm not seeing the play.
Oh, my fault, Coach.
See
Okay.
him finish with a backside arm, zone play.
The
Here,
right tackle, I'd have him shuffle.
They're not trying to get
because
real
the right
time,
tackle
even though
is
it's hard to
piercing too
tell.
fast. I'd have him take a deep shuffle and then key the backer. Okay. See, he's almost ahead of the tight end. You see how the right tackle's ahead of the tight end because he's too fast. He would use a deep shuffle, kick slide, and then decide if he wanted to help. Depending on where the backer goes, that's your key. Whether if he had to come back inside or outside. So yes, the tackle is piercing. And really, I'm not a bad guy, but we're asking questions about things that I'm not covering. And that kind of confuses me. But I generally would know the answer. But anyway. Now, we didn't even talk about this one. Okay. This is what we call a power hook. If you watch the left guard, he's locking out. Oh, okay. Here we go. Watch the right guard. Now it's an outside play. Okay. So now he's going to lock the outside arm out to get him hooked. Okay. Or reached. All right. Now, if you run it back one more time, if he continues to run, we'll torque him out. If we get him hooked, we'll stay on the hook block. Now the running back cut up because he saw a big hole. So he's playing long with his right hand and he's coming under with his left hand. This is what we call a power hook. You'll see you'll see the left guard doing it. So he's locking out his left hand and his left foot should end up getting high. Okay. It's like a wall block or whatever you want to call it. And I think there's another good one on here. Okay. If we could go to the next one, I think it's a perfect one by Sheriff.
All right.
Okay. This is a clinic. Okay. Watch how proactive his right hand is. Boom. Back to you. Look how fast. Do your guys bring the hand up that fast? That's unbelievable. Now he got tripped by his right tackle, Moses, which is Troy's favorite guy, because he didn't get the hell out of the way. But my point is, this is what we call a power hook, where he's trying to hook the guy and he puts his outside hand on the outside breastplate and locks it out. So the two types of reach blocks are the long arm reach that we saw by the center first, and then this one by Sheriff when he was with the Redskins. So if we could show that again.
Jim Delaney wants to know, why would you use the power hook as opposed to playing long with backside arm like the first clip you showed?
Because the guards and tackles can be off the ball a little bit where the center is on the ball. And when the center is on the football, it's harder for him to get in front of the guy. He can lose ground, but it's easier for him to use the long arm reach. But when you're a guard or a tackle, you can get as deep as you want to get, and you can scoot your feet. You know, you could almost take a drop step and come laterally and have time and space. So when I'm a guard or a tackle, pretty much when I turn my pads, I'm right in the stovepipe of the play. Even though the guard from Cincinnati really torqued the hell out of the guy, I prefer that the center's the only one that uses the long arm reach, or the backside people. I prefer the front side people to use the power hook. And if they can't get the power hook, it's a false key. So when you go to power hook them, locking out the outside arm to the breastplate, and he runs, you're really influencing him. He knows you're trying to hook him, so he widens, and then you throw him out. So it's a great way to influence the man to widen when he sees that outside arm come at him. But it's all playing long. And the inside hand is a lift hand. So we lock out the outside hand, and the inside hand lifts. Okay, so this is a mid to wide. This is a outstanding by the right guard, Zeitler. Okay, this is a mid to wide zone from the gun. Okay, all right, now the center should shuffle deep. Okay, he's got a 2, he's got a 5. Right does. He's not sure if the end's going to pinch. The end does pinch or olays. So watch the right guard doesn't come off shuffle. On the linebacker. He doesn't leave the line of scrimmage. He funnels the one technique to the center with his left hand. See how the center can catch up to that one technique? The problem is that the right tackle doesn't play long, ducks his head, and doesn't funnel the end to the guard, and then he'd go up on the backer. And the right tackle is how to control, leaning, etc. If the right tackle stuck his inside hand out and funneled him or stuffed him to the guard, then came off, it would all be perfect. But the point I'm making, watch the right guard, not vacate when he's got a one technique on him, okay? Because he's not sure whether to help the center, help the tackle, and there goes the tackle versus a defensive end on an Olay move. Outstanding by 68. I think he now plays with the Ravens. But 68's a little too fast. He could stay on the line of scrimmage a little longer. When I mean a line of scrimmage, I mean he's rooted. His feet are rooted, but he didn't quite have to go standing by the right guard. The center. Zone is zone. Most of the wide zone people would have the right guard go up on the back or leave the tackle all alone. Plus the splits are too big. Okay.
Next one.
Okay, next. On a wide zone. Okay. Okay. We got to make that bigger.
I'm trying, Coach.
Oh, yeah. You're doing good.
I got it, Coach.
All right. Now watch the backside guard. Watch this backside guard on a wide zone. Okay. He kind of actually moves the back foot first. I call it which saves him a step. The 3 pinches, like on a pirate, he plays long with his hands. See his hands lock out? And he takes the pinching 3 and he stuffs him back to the tackle. Unbelievable. That's Bill Callahan's guy. Sheriff. What a coaching job.
And that's Troy Taylor's guy, Morgan Moses. I recruited him and coached him. I was a great coach when I had him, Coach.
Absolutely.
What is the cue? This is Scott Curd. Wants to know, what is the cue to tell the guard to climb here if the defensive end did not spike? I think he's talking about the play before, Coach.
Well, the play before, we'd have to know where the linebacker is. The more the linebacker's in the A gap, the more we'd have to move laterally and then go. Okay. The more he's minus during the backside gap, I can stay on the down guy longer. So it all depends on the position of the linebacker, whether he's plus, that means in the A gap, stacked, or minus.
Hey, Coach, on the right of your screen, can you see where it says comments?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering because the comments might pop up. If it's like a little looks
No,
like
I see him right in the middle of the screen.
Oh, but you don't
Scott's
see any.
heard.
You don't see anything on the right that says banner or comments.
No, you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the med ball.
Okay, this
It's
is
square.
this is okay.
You
I'll
want to talk?
first, then we'll let the thing talk. This might be, well, it would be, say this is the right guard or the right tackle, and it's a tight zone. So he's going to use what I call a square shuffle. Okay, he's going to drop his right foot. He's going to move with his left foot. Then he's going to come high or at least parallel with his. He's going to stay square zone blocking because it's an inside play and not a wide play.
Be used on inside zone. So this could be the center, the right guard, or the right tackle. The center working with the right guard working with the right tackle working with a tight end. But it's on an inside type of play. So note how square he is before he hammers. So he can climb up on the backer and have a high leg. That's different than a wider mid zone where he would shuffle deep, okay? Because he has to lose a little bit more ground to help the guy to his backside and front side. So here's a square shuffle. Okay, here we go.
See his high leg?
Okay. Okay, here we go.
And this is
So this would be like the right guard or the center working play side on a tight zone. Okay. See
And
how
then he's
square he is?
looking at the linebacker to
He's
come up on the
hammering the
backer if
guy.
he falls
Okay, but he's
back.
staying square. That's different than if it's a wide zone. Okay. This would
See
be
how
the
long
right
he's
guard
playing?
or the center moving to his right on a tight zone, being the hammer guy.
And he's got a high leg. That's
Moving
where
to
you're
his left.
strongest with a forward leg.
Okay. I think you get it.
I was just checking the questions, Coach, to see if we had any. All right. So the next one we got
By the center on a
Now
wider
this is
play.
a deep shuffle.
The first shuffle was a square shuffle. This is a deep shuffle used on a mid to wide zone. Watch the center here. Okay, here we go. Okay, see him shuffle deep? Because it's a wider play. See how he has body presence for the backside guard and the front side guard. Okay. Okay, we've showed this before, but this is the front side guard and the center really shuffling deep, okay? Because the ball is trying to go a little wider, but it cuts up because there's a big hole. So you can shuffle square or shuffle deep by the uncovered guy. This is a deep shuffle, by the center.
You want to talk that over, Coach? You good
Well,
on this?
Because the ball's going wide, the center can't stay flat because everybody's going to move further. So he gets more depth. You've got to lose ground to gain ground. And he can help the backside guard. See the three loop out? If the three was there, he'd hand check the backside one technique and then go kill the front side three. I think we've got some more of those. when we get to Kansas City, you'll see some good ones. But do this one here.
On a wide play, mid or wide zone when he's uncovered. It's not
Watch
a
the right
square
guard.
shuffle.
Second guy
It's a
in.
deep shuffle. Okay, let's watch him. Okay. See, his linebacker crosses behind the nose. So when you shuffle, you can come back and rewind. That's different than piercing and vacating, as I've covered earlier. Okay. Okay. So
Then
the
the guy
defensive
pinched.
end pinches here. Okay. So the tackle passes him off to the guard. All right. Okay. Same thing here. The right guard's on a deep shuffle, kick slide. Works back on the nose.
It's the
All right,
same thing.
Got a question here. Steve Gukian said, great coaching points by a great O-line coach. Do you coach your center to help backside on a one technique or to stay on track toward three technique working the middle linebacker? Thank you.
Well, he's always keying his backer. If the backside one or shade presses into him, he'll have a long-armed lockout on him as he's deep. Don't remember, he's not going anywhere. He's going deep, but he's not really going sideways. He's going deep. And then if the backer scrapes, he goes to try to kill the three technique. It's all what the backer does.
All right, Kyle, I think this is Kyle Jolly, who played at UNC for Sam Pittman and coach at Washington. Do you carry inside zone, mid zone, and outside zone into the season or try to limit it to two of the three? He's a high school coach in Tampa.
I don't like the outside zone. Mid zone and outside zone, the landmarks can be pretty much the same. I don't like the outside zone old school blocking where the uncovered guy just pierces and tries to kill the next guy because you can't bide time and help the guy backside or the guy front side. So I like to call it a mid zone, even though the track might be the butt of the tight end, etc. I would never carry all three. If I wanted to get outside, I would use G blocking. You might get outside with the mid zone if they all pinched, but I would try to get outside with toss cracks or G blocks or those types of things. I would only run, and the inside zone is no good anymore. They've caught up with it. It's good now when the quarterback pulls it and has the option to throw the RPO. Whether he throws it to a flare back or they man block the backside and you key the inside backer, but the pure inside zone where you're reading the end and the quarterback keeps it, it's ain't worth a shit unless you've got a pitch man or somebody to throw it to, because if the quarterback keeps it by himself, you can't get the scrape backer because you got to try to double the three with the backside guard. I got off the topic there. So no, I'd only use two plays. I wouldn't use mid and wide. I'd use inside zone and mid zone.
Let's watch.
This is probably the best clip we got.
Okay, watch when he strikes. Watch where his feet are. Okay, his feet are underneath him. His hands are inside. Watch his hips. He gathers right there. Okay.
His hands
so
are
what I want to
underneath.
do is I want to kind of freeze it right there. Okay. Look where his feet are. His feet are behind him. Okay.
Look where his hands are.
One hand is inside. His back is arched. Okay. And again,
that's Pac-Man Jones.
Good
he's blocking.
contact, obviously. Okay. And he finished the guy. Okay.
Run it again.
So this is a wide.
So, Coach, that gets you excited right there.
Absolutely. There's no lead steps. Now he's going to lead step to get to him, but on contact, his feet are underneath him. Rooted. He's
one-on-one
rooted.
block versus a defensive back. Let's watch him. Okay. Okay. Watch when he strikes. Watch where his feet are. Okay. His feet are underneath him. His hands are inside. Watch his hips. He gathers right there. Okay?
The only
So what I
reason he
wanna
can
do
lift
is I
is
wanna
because his
kind of
hands are
freeze it right
underneath.
there. Okay?
He's not pushing on the shoulder pads like everybody teaches the drive block.
Behind him, okay? His one hand is inside, his back is arched, okay?
He's
And,
trying to get both hands inside,
again,
but he can't.
He's made good contact, obviously, okay? And he finished the guy, okay? So anyway, let's watch that one more time.
Yeah,
Okay.
that next play is not.
And I'll
part
try
of
to
our-
go slow motion if I can.
You good with that, Coach?
I'm good with it.
Okay. I was going to check the questions. All right. Our next one, back to the Redskins.
Wide zone, okay?
We
He
saw
actually
this.
moves the back foot first.
You've already seen this one?
Yes, we have.
Okay. So before we go to some of the stuff that Coach posted on his Twitter that he's going to go over with us, is anybody got any questions? Coach, are you open to any questions now since we've
Yes,
gone through?
as long as it's got to do with playing long, the power hook, the long armed reach, torquing, etc. I don't want anything about how do you run the fucking wide zone. I don't want those kind of questions. I don't want to get into a 2-hour discussion on something. I want questions on what we've covered. Well, you pretend like you're me.
So I don't see any questions right now, Coach. So we'll go to your Twitter. Now,
Okay.
you said that you also wanted to talk about the hands in Pass Pro, but we're just going to go to your Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is Coach's Twitter. If you're not following Coach on Twitter, please follow him. We already looked at this one.
We looked at that.
We didn't see
We
this
looked
one,
at
Coach.
that. Okay. Oh, this is a square shuffle. The center is working with the front side guard. See how square he is? But the backer walks right up on him. So this is an inside zone, okay? And he's square. He's not using that deep shuffle, okay? And if the 3 technique were to pinch, he would high leg him. If the backside guy would come to him, he'd block him. Now, here's a perfect example. This next clip. Watch the center. I think he's 76 or whatever his number is. See how square he is? See how his right leg is high? If it was a wider zone, he would take a deep shuffle. So do we understand the difference between a square shuffle and a deep shuffle? He wants to hit him with his right hand and lift him, or he wants to torque him and the guard, what I call a hammer and a torque. But anyway, that second clip by the center was a good shot of the square shuffle. We did that one. Okay.
We did this one, didn't we?
No, we didn't. But it's more of the same where we can see the center. I must be doing a lot of talking now, but he's gonna get deep. So watch what he does.
To wide zone. Watch the
I think we saw this one.
Yeah.
So he gets deep and the 3 loops. So yeah, go to the next one. We did that.
Play this for him, Coach.
Yeah. Okay, this is me talking about
This is a 5 technique.
torquing and hammering.
Let's say I'm the front side tackle. This is a 5 technique, okay? And it could be any kind of a zone play, right? As soon as I do whatever I do with this guy,
whether I'm trying to hook him, whether I'm trying to match him, whether I'm trying to cover him. If he just two gaps, rather than just keep driving him, torque him, throw him out, use his momentum against him. And then the next guy coming, say the guard, when he two gaps or goes straight ahead into that tackle and that backer scrapes, hammer him, move him that way. Keep your eyes up in case the backer falls back, and I may go from a hammer to a plow. If I'm a right guard and this guy's a 3 technique, a 2 technique, a 1 technique, and he just comes right into me, don't try to escape him, as I've said before, to get your backer, because I'm taking subtle footwork, just moving, and he torque him, throw his ass, and then the next guy coming, all right, would be the center. He hammers him, and he then plows him. He keeps his eyes open for the backer, blah, blah, blah.
So that was an example of when you're playing a 2-gap player that just comes straight ahead. Instead of trying to double them straight back, you got to protect the gap anyway. So torque him, take him sideways.
Inside. Okay, let's look at some old school ISOs. This is from the 90s from the Carolina Panthers. We want the fullback to put his helmet inside because the strong safety over here, this linebacker wants to spill the fullback, wrong arm it, so the ball jumps out to this safety. Also visualize, we also did this. We had the tight end pass set the outside backer and then go up and get the safety because wide receivers can't really get them. So let's watch a few clips here. Okay, watch where the fullback puts his hat. Okay, and then we take advantage of running right up the A gap, away from the strong safety, even though he's in there making the tackle. Okay, here again. Okay, I believe the end pinches here. Okay, all right, but watch where the fullback puts his helmet. And the back is still able to make some yards, and the strong safety missed the tackle. Okay, all right, let's look at this one right here. Okay, all right, there's the fullback. All right, he put his helmet inside of that backer. The ball cut back. Okay, we'll watch one more. Okay, all right. This is against a guard bubble, a 3-4 and under. Okay. All right. Now he didn't really put his helmet inside, right? See the guy spill it, but the ball cut back anyway. So if you don't put your helmet inside that linebacker, okay, and you don't get a cut right up the center, you got to cut her back.
That's the old ISO.
Yes, sir.
Versus a guard bubble. Okay, this is another example. I would have the center shuffle deep, but watch the guard throw him out and watch the center blast him and make a hole. These are good ones right here. Watch the left guard stay on the line of scrimmage. This is an inside. Yeah, they're trying to run inside, run it back in. Watch the guard have patience and not just vacate the line.
All right.
He's lunging forward. He's using his arms. He's locking out. He torques him. Watch the center hammer him. That means push him out. Here's a better clip. The right guard is torquing him out. The center's pushing him out. This is a draw. Watch the center. He knocks him sideways. Watch the nose guard. The backside guard hammers him. The center torques him or twists him.
Okay, Coach, we got a question from Ethan.
Okay.
You mentioned hammer technique on a prior clip. Can you dive more in depth about this and when to use it?
Okay, the hammer is the inside guy on the zone play that's uncovered. Okay, like the center, to make it simple, versus like a 4-3. The right guard, like versus an under or a 3-4. The right tackle versus a tackle bubble. You know, there's no down man over the tackle. Okay, so whether I'm going square or I'm setting deep, when I go to my outside to help my buddy who's got the down lineman outside, I drive the hell out of him. Okay, and I end up with a forward leg, which makes me strongest, and I try to remove that guy horizontally, which will give you a bigger move than just trying to drive him on an angle. When you really come down, when the postman, you know, the guy that's got the guy over him, when he starts to torque him out, throw him out, and the next guy comes out and really pushes him or hammers him, you move that guy horizontally 4 or 5 yards by just displacing him laterally, and there's a big hole.
Yeah, Ethan, if you have any questions, ask Coach. I mean, you might get yelled at, but I mean, when else are you going to get to ask him?
Yeah.
All right, Coach.
Okay, next clip.
We're not going to look at the Steelers? My fault.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
Coach.
this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Oh my God. Can we make that bigger?
Here's an excellent technique by the front side tackle on a one-back duo. Okay.
Okay.
Double team.
Watch the double team
right.
first of all. Watch the
Watch
center
him
hop
get
back. That's where
underneath
you're the strongest.
the 4-eye.
All
He
right.
doesn't
And he's
block
going to
down
torque
on
him.
an
And watch
angle.
the guard
I'd
come
actually
down and
drop
hammer
my
him.
inside foot a
Okay.
little more.
But what we're really
I'd
looking
use
at
a
is the right
three-step
tackle.
approach. But
He wants to
where he
get
ends
square
up
on
is
that guy
perfect.
and almost have his helmet inside.
Look at how his feet are
So he
spread.
loses
He's
ground
rooted.
with his inside
He's
foot, and he
climbing.
squares
He
up on the guy.
sustains.
He doesn't block
Is this
down
how
on an
you would
angle.
block?
He doesn't lead step. He roots his feet. He gets under him with his hands. He arches his back. Okay? So the right tackle, the right guard, and the center have got the guy on the right tackle and the middle backer in the nose.
And the running back's got the back in the hole?
Well, I think the tight end made a major mistake, or we might have a fullback coming. So
That was when I asked you about duo, and there was an extra backer in there that's unblocked.
yeah, but that you can't run duo unless you have an extra blocker. See that extra blocker? See him release? See that
Yeah, he
guy
blocked
release?
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because that's a 7-man front, and we've only got 11. What I'm saying is we don't have enough blockers. We got a guard, tackle, and a tight end. They got a 7-man front. We need a fullback.
All right, we got some questions, Coach. Go ahead and
Don't
answer.
ask me about the fucking free guy in the hole. Let's just look at the tackle, the guard, and the center. Run it back one more time. This is perfect by the right tackle. He's almost like that receiver that blocked the defensive back when he had to really go after him. But you see how his feet are rooted? See the feet rooted? He's like a duck. He's got like a wide base. All right. He's got his hands inside. Watch the guard hammer the nose. You got to turn it back just a little bit so we can see the guard. You got to back it up just a little bit. Okay, there you go. That right guard will have a high leg, a forward leg on contact. That's where he's the strongest. We have to back it up a little bit if you can do it, Coach.
Feet are spread. He's rooted. He's climbing. He sustains.
Can you back it up a little bit,
Is
Coach?
this how you would block down?
Yeah. Coach, this is
There
the
you go.
beginning
Here's an excellent.
this is the beginning of the
Here's
play.
an excellent technique by the front side tackle
because then we'll see it.
on a one-back duo.
There it is.
Okay.
Watch the nose.
Double team.
Boom.
All right. Watch him get underneath the 4-eye.
He doesn't block down on an angle. I'd actually drop my inside foot a little more. Okay, I use a 3-step approach, but where he ends up is perfect. Look at how his feet are spread. He's rooted. He's climbing. He hasn't turned his sustains. shoulders.
Is this how you would block down? Okay, if the guard was doing a combination doom to ace technique. Perfect. Perfect. Look at his feet sprawl right there.
Sprawl. Does that make sense? Like a wrestler. Before
got
he
some-
goes to tackle the guy he's wrestling, he
Jim
hops
Delaney-
back, his
Jim-
feet sprawl.
Jim Delaney said that you answered it, but would that hammer technique be on inside zone, outside zone, or both?
It would be on all combination blocks, double teams, zone blocks, whatever. The only difference is on a wider zone, you'd shuffle deep first. On a tighter zone, you'd shuffle square. Where's the linebacker? Now here, you see that guard started inside first because that linebacker's way inside. He didn't work with the tackle first because if that linebacker shot the backside A gap, they'd never knock the center off.
Matt Stewart says, Coach, on wide zone, what technique do you teach the backside guard versus a 1 technique or backside tackle versus a 3 technique? Thanks.
Okay, I would either use the long arm reach or I would use what we call a skip technique, which gets me deeper than just a deep shuffle. So I got to get deep to cut them off. If I don't get deep to cut them off, I'll use the long arm shuffle. So I'll either use some version of getting deep, a deep shuffle to fit myself in, or a skip, deep shuffle or skip. Okay. And you can also use the long arm reach. That's where the long arm reach can come through on the backside. But you're better off on the long arm reach. Now I'm going to really confuse everybody, but on the long arm reach, okay? All right, let's say I'm going to my right, okay? All right, if I just cross over, turn my pads and cross over, I save a step rather than moving this foot first, okay? I got to drop it a little bit. I have to drop that foot a little bit so I can cross over, okay? All right, but if you just were more parallel in your stance and crossed over, okay, you crossed over, your shoulders turn, you'll get there a step sooner, okay? Can you understand what I'm talking about as far as just crossing over your feet? Your front side foot can't be forward, though. You got to be in a more of a parallel stance to cross over to use the high leg reach block. So I would use the deep shuffle, the skip block where I skip back like you run a skip pull because that gets me deep, or use the backside long arm.
The 6, I believe his number is. He's got to protect his front side gap, that gap. He and the center are working for that guy. Now, the left tackle's also involved, okay? But let's watch what happens, okay? Here we go. All right.
See the left guard
Okay.
Pierce?
So
See him go right now? Run that back, coach. Now the left
are
tackle
working
crossed
for
his
that
feet.
guy.
The
Now the-
left tackle screwed up because at least he could get his hands on that guy that pinches and push him to the guard. But the guard just vacates. See the guard just vacate? You got to protect your gap. Zone is zone.
You got to protect your gap.
So the left tackle did a bad job of at least getting his hands on the guy and shoving him to the guard, but the guard just left. You can't do that. Wide zone people do that. They love that. They love the uncovered guy to vacate. If you're going to do that, the tackle will never stop him. Never, never, never. Now, he could keep his shoulder square on. Remember, I used to call a match block earlier on the Twitter? He could get a piece of him, but if he really slants hard, he'll never stop him. So both blockers are wrong.
Stephen Gukian said, protect your gap.
Protect your gap and don't be in a hurry to get to the second level.
It's the one right here, Coach. Got the Bob Marley.
Yeah.
There you are right there. When was that, Coach?
Oh, that was this past summer, I think. We got a lot more. All right. There you go. Or stop it right there. That's Crosby from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you see how his stick isn't even on the ground? He's got a forward lean. His feet are rooted. See how they're rooted in the ground? One foot is not ahead of the other. Now he might have to skate forward, you with me? But when he comes to contact, okay, his feet need to root. He needs to gather. So that's the proper position. That's just like that right tackle from the Steelers that got underneath that guy. That's how his feet were, okay? So you see how he's lunging forward. His upper body's lunging forward. He's not going backwards, but his feet are underneath him. They might be slightly back. One foot might be behind the other a little bit, but there's the posture of striking if you have a long arm. Now, is it a drive block, a reach block, a pass block? We're not going to cover all that. I'm just showing you the posture when you're leaning into a more of a drive block type, or you're trying to get part of the guy, etc. No, wait a minute now. You're going too fast. We got any questions?
Yes. LeBron, what do you have uncovered player key on combinations near hip?
Linebacker. I stick the hand out, whether I deep shuffle or square shuffle, but I'm always keying the backer. Because if the backer falls back, I can key the near hip of the defensive lineman. It won't do me a shit. I feel the down lineman. I key the backer. This is foot fire. Your guys move their feet like that. He's like the gorilla in the zoo. All movements are firing the feet. Up, 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 up. You take big steps. See, he's really not going forward. His upper body's leaning forward, but his feet are underneath him. Okay, that's good. Now, no. Keep going. Run it back. I think I got more to that.
You want to listen to it?
No. Is there any more to that video? Because I got them where they're going through the chutes.
No, that ends right there, Coach.
Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. This is the left tackle shuffling deep on a wide zone. See the left tackle get deep? Run it back one more time. No, go back. Yeah, left tackle. He's got that outside linebacker, but he's shuffling deep because he might have to block the defensive end. Watch the right tackle. See him shuffle? He misses the guy. He shouldn't cut him. Watch the left tackle shuffle here. And they run like a twist. See the tackle go out and the end loop inside, or the outside backer? Watch the tackle shuffle, pick up that end that loops out, and the guard picks up the looping backer. You're going too fast, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. That's the way you want me to slow it. I mean, it's the way the can't.
No, that means you can just go back one.
Okay.
There's a perfect example of a deep shuffle. It's a kick slide. Right tackle. See where he's got his eyes? He's not looking to the down guy.
Yeah, he's uncovered. He's looking at the backer, right?
Absolutely. So he knows that backer's outside. There's a good chance the tight end might have to come off. Now here's the right tackle. He's feeling, see him feel that end? And he cut the guy. He shouldn't have. We already covered this next one.
You go with that clip?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Steven's got a question.
Yeah.
King the backer tells the O-line how fast he has to come off the combo, question mark.
Absolutely.
You want to elaborate on that?
What's that?
Do you want to elaborate on that more?
Well, let's say I'm taking a deep shuffle. So, and I got a 7 technique and I got a 3 technique. I don't know if I should help the 3. Should I help the 7 on a wide zone? So I deep shuffle, okay? The guard tries to hook the guy. The tight end tries to drive his guy. And then as I kick slide on a deep shuffle, I read the backer. If the backer starts to flow, I kill the down guy. If the backer kind of hangs and hesitates, I stick my hand out to help the tight end, but then I climb on the backer. Yes, I'm always sticking my hands out to help the down guy. All right. Is this Kansas City?
That was the same clip I think we just showed. Let me see.
Okay, we're good. We're good. I think we saw this one, but let's look at it again.
All right.
No.
I'm starting to get it now, Coach.
See the right guard for the Raiders?
I'm gonna mute you. I'm starting to get it now, Coach, I think.
Okay, let that go. We saw this. Let her go. Go to the next one.
All right.
All right. Watch the Kansas City center.
Center on mid or wide zone. Okay.
All right. Kansas City center going to his right. See the second step go back. See the hand check. Okay. Same Kansas City center. Deep shuffle to the left. Mid to wide zone. Same thing, Kansas City. So they know how to do this stuff.
See the Kansas City center come back
Jim,
on
come
the
back and
backside tackle,
rewind.
run that back.
Here's a college kid. Kansas City center.
No, yeah, this one. Yeah. Yeah, keep going.
Go to the next clip.
Yeah, no. Right here. See the center? All right, watch this center. You asked a question. What does he do versus the nose on his backside shoulder? He's got that backside. I don't like it when you got the backside linebacker. I like you to have the front side backer.
All right. Steven Gukian says, fantastic coaching points. Rich Kramer says, you mentioned splits being too wide earlier tonight. What is the target size of your offensive line splits to allow for effective shuffle?
Oh, I'd say no more than 1.5 foot. Run that back. Run that back. All the way back. Well, right. Yeah, it's not your fault. I want to go to, let this one go. I'm talking. That's why it's.
Matt Stewart wants to know,
Keep it going. I'll answer it after we keep it going.
Okay.
After we watch this thing. Watch him go to his right and come back to his left. See the backer? All right, now watch the center. He's got that back linebacker, which I hate. Now he's got the front backer. He could get a little more depth, but watch what he does. Watch what he and the left guard do. So the center doesn't know who he's going to help, but he's keying his backer. Watch the center here. He's trying to help the backside guard and the front side guard. Now it's a zero nose. Watch him go, because the end might spike all the way into the A gap. You know how they pinch the ends in a 50 defense or a 3-4? That's why he's shuffling deep there, the center.
If y'all got questions, put them in the chat, and then I got to present them to Coach.
Let's watch the center. Watch the center. They cross the backers. Watch when he slows down how he can pick it up. Watch the center. He's not in a hurry.
All right, Matt Stewart wants to know, do you put a limit on the amount of deep shuffles the uncovered guy should do so he
Kick
doesn't
slide. Period. Kick slide
so he
and
does
go.
so he doesn't risk getting in the way of the back? Should he push vertical after so many shuffles?
Kick slide and go.
Kick, slide, and go.
That's what the wide zone people say. They say you're in the way of the running back. I say bullshit. If you just vacate right now, you can't block movement.
Now, you did a study of Kyler Murray, Coach. You want to talk about him?
Left hand or his outside hand.
No, who are we talking about now? Let it go. I don't want to talk about Kyler Murray. Then we got to get into all the, does he read it? Does he pull it? Does he? Okay.
Here, let me play your voice, Coach.
Drive block a guy right down. So this is why when you're going to drive block a guy right down the middle, your left hand or his outside hand needs to come up like a block hand to avoid this Ole move, because that defensive guy is either going to stick his hand on your chest. You know, let's say he sticks both hands on your chest, or he sticks his right hand right on your chest, or he swims you, swats and swims and olays you, okay? That's why I would not use a pure double under on a drive block at the point of attack. I would use an outside uppercut or block hand, then come with the inside hand as a single under. Okay, let's watch this. All right, here we go.
Watch 65, the defensive tackle for Cleveland versus the left guard. It's an inside zone, okay? And 65 uses an outside swat and swim. This happened to me back 15 years ago with Jason Peters, who's a great player. We were playing the Dallas Cowboys, and it was short yardage, and the same thing happened. So bottom line is, if you're playing a guy that uses this technique, if you know he's using it, do not use the outside hand, particularly on inside zone. Block with that outside hand. Arch your back. Almost turn your whole body to the outside and throw the guy with your inside hand.
Anything else you want to say about that, Coach?
No, let's go to the next one. I think we'll cover it, then we can talk. All right. Here's the block hand.
Let's pretend this is a drive block. You want to get square on a guy. Now he loses ground laterally, but don't worry about the feet. Watch his left arm. Because the defensive guys like to grab your shoulder or olay you like a pass rush move, his left arm comes up like a blocked hand, and then the right hand comes underneath. So it's not a double under, it's a single under with the outside hand coming up to block the defensive guy's outside hand so he doesn't grab us or push us with that outside hand. Okay, let's watch.
Okay, this set of videos will be how to cover a guy. I just did match, where you throw the guy out because the ball's coming, you're in front of.
Okay, here we go.
I want to notice the hands.
See
here.
that outside hand lift?
Okay.
That
You see
protects
this
the guy
outside
from an
hand
old
come up
leg.
like this to
Okay.
protect
See
his
that lift?
chest like
See
a
that left hand
pendulum?
lift?
That's
That
the
should
way
be the
I
first
would
thing you do when you
all
want to cover
blocks,
a guy.
right? Because the
Okay.
Next clip.
Okay.
Watch
All
him
right. Now
proactively. This is
the
like a
right
perfect
tackle
match block by the tackle.
sticking his hand out to what we call match block that I put a lot of time on. If it's a wide zone, a tight zone, a mid zone, I wouldn't try to hook the guy ever. If you lose ground to try to hook a guy, even if he's tighter, you get pushed back into the running back gets pushed back to you. So when you have a wider guy, you turn him out, even though it's a wide zone. Now here, he actually stuck his outside hand out in the stance so he could get long. Watch him. Okay. Here we go. So that's what he's doing. And that's what, I guess you could unmute it.
Reload his arm. Watch him proactively. He has that outside hand out first, which keeps his shoulders square, and he's ready to protect his chest. He doesn't have to reload his arm to stick it out. It's already stuck out, like a barricade or a stop sign where a policeman says you can't cross now, etc. So again, let's watch this technique.
he's not trying to cover the guy. He sticks that outside
It's a
hand
match.
in the chest. It could be an understrike, I'm not sure. But now throw him. Good job.
Look how square he is.
Go to the next one. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are different things that we do on more one-on-one blocks. We always call the first step a brace step. A brace step means you drop it, but your upper body's going forward, okay? So those are different variables after you take the brace step that you can just dip and like lunge into the guy. You can pick up your other foot and put it down. You can pick up your other foot and go forward. So let's not get too confusing with all of that. But I have videos of all those. But let's go to the next clip because we'll see some good stuff here. All right, watch the center. He's going to foot
Start
fire.
every block. Okay.
Let's listen.
All right.
Hard here. Okay. This is why you should foot fire really to start every block. Okay. So anyway, watch this right guard here. Okay. From Pittsburgh, DeCastro. He's terrific. Okay. So this is now a double team. Okay.
Watch him fire his feet
Watch
first.
his feet start though.
And then he roots.
See the foot fire?
See him root?
Da 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 da. And then he ends up with a high outside leg. Okay. All right. Don't worry about what the tackle does. Just covering one particular point. Okay.
Foot fire. Foot fire.
Watch him here. See his feet?
This
Da,
guy
da, da,
foot
da, da,
fired
da,
on
da.
every play.
And he comes
Pass
off
or
on the
run.
run through.
He must have been taught it. He went to Stanford.
Okay.
Maybe they had great coaches, but his foot
All right,
always
now-
fired. Now watch this next one. You won't believe
Let's
this.
go to this guy here.
You might even be embarrassed that you guys
Martin.
don't do it, but I'm just busting your balls.
Sorry, it took a little time there. Okay. It's downloading, obviously. All right.
Watch the right guard.
Watch this
All
guy
right, now
here.
he doesn't know whether to
70.
double team the three or the nose. So watch what he does.
He's going from a double team on a 3 to a double team on the nose. Okay. Because
Watch his feet.
all 3 of them have got the backside backer. Watch his feet. Watch his feet. He doesn't know whether to double team the 3 or double team the nose, but they know they've got the inside backer. The combination of the center, the right guard, and the right tackle. This is an inside play. Okay. Watch him fire his feet. Watch him strike the 3. then
Your guys move their
drive
feet
into
like
the
that,
zero
or they take
nose
big steps
and knock
like
the center
Frankenstein.
off. And they all should have their eyes on the backer. And everybody should play long. Okay? Again, are we good with firing the feet?
Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, now this is let's pretend like the ball, let's not even talk for, we'll let us talk, but let me talk. Let's say the ball is going up the center's backside leg, inside zone. So the center is going to match him. What I mean by match him, he's got leverage on the nose. The nose has got leverage on him. So keep the leverage, match the leverage. So watch what the center does when he knows the ball's going up his backside leg. Now, again, this is just a drill. His left hand will come under to protect his own chest, and his right hand will torque him out. There he goes. Does your center stay this square on the tight zone? Or does he turn his pads and let the nose cross his face or two gap him? See, when you stay square, that defender doesn't have as much to hit. Everything is square. How square can you be? Okay, now let's talk. Let's hear what I say.
This is the center when the ball's coming up his butt or his backside leg on an inside zone. Okay, so say the ball is coming up his backside leg or up his butt from over here in this side in the gun, not where it's going way over here now. Okay, so the ball has to go up the center's butt or over his backside leg from the gun inside zone, whether it's a zone read or not. And here's a match block by the center. Okay, so here we go. Let's watch that center. Okay. Okay, watch what he does. He stays totally square. His outside hand or arm protects his chest. Then he throws the guy. Okay. Don't turn on an angle because the guy can cross face you or push you into the ball carrier. Stay square on all match blocks. Same by the guard when the ball's going up the center's butt. Not when the ball's going right up the guard's butt. That would be what we call a cover block. These are match blocks. Okay.
Okay. I think we're watching the tackle match block.
See how square he is?
Just let her go. Left tackle. Square. Throw him out. Whether the ball's inside zone, outside zone,
this would even be on wide zone to him.
Right tackle. Wide zone, mid zone, tight zone. Throw him out. He didn't quite finish it, but he's square. Now here the tackle kind of pass sets a little bit and throws him out.
He kind of just pass sets because the guy's wide. Let's go fast forward here.
If anybody's got any questions, put it in the chat.
Okay.
I guess this is our left tackle. No, right tackle. Watch it. Watch how square his shoulders are. See him throw him out? It's a wide zone. Jason Peters. He stays square. Turns a little bit, really. I just used him because he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But
Jason Peters.
Coach, anybody that doesn't know or didn't listen last time, can you tell them about Jason Peters and you bringing him to Buffalo?
Yeah, he was a free agent tight end from Arkansas in 2004, and we knew he was big and powerful. We actually cut him, and we brought him back just before the season, and he was our best guy on special teams. He was the first guy down under the kickoff. We moved him to tackle, and he started at right tackle, and then we moved to left tackle, and he could pick it up, but he never played there. So it took him a while to learn the technique. I mean, a guy would slant inside, and he just let him go. You know what I mean? But when he figured it out, he really figured it out. Okay, go next. All right, here's a better example how you should really stay square, whether it's a wide zone, a tight zone, a mid zone. Now, not a real toss where you might have to crack them, but it's a handoff type of a zone play. Don't try to go out and reach him. Throw him out. Watch how square this tackle stays. Okay, you can turn the voice on.
Inside zone play. These are John Strollo's words, match his leverage. This would be all tackles on plays that are going inside of him. Okay, the word match means that the man outside of you has outside leverage on you, and you have inside leverage on him. So keep the leverage. It would be used by tackles versus a wide guy on any play, okay? And centers and guards mostly on a tight inside zone play. So here's some drills for match, all right? Watch how this right tackle stays totally square. The right hand would come up like a pendulum, and the left hand would torque the shoulder, all right? All right, so here we go. Now this is like the left tackle, left guard going to the left. It's totally square, head inside out. All right, there you go. This is what we call the match block. Match the leverage, okay? All right, so. I'm doing a study now on inside zone from the dot or the gun, mid zone from the dot, and wide zone from the dot. With tackles blocking a guy that's kind of in a loose 5 technique. You know, the guy's out here a little bit, not right on him, all right? And what I've determined on an inside zone, a mid zone, or even a stretch zone, that the worst thing the tackle can do is try to cover the guy up. What I mean by cover him up is get over here, try to get in front of him, try to do that to him. On all 3 of these things, and I have video to prove it, which will blow your mind, is that if the tackle can move laterally, maybe he's got to lose a little ground, keep his head inside, and throw the guy out, okay? Inside zone from the gun or dot, mid zone from the gun or the dot, or even wide zone. Now on the wide zone right here, as you come in, as you're moving, the guy may move a little bit, so you may move a little bit with him. But do not fucking try to get over here and hook him or reach him or cover him. I have fucking proof. Trust me. Goodbye.
And that's because the running back runs right up your butt, and the defensive guy pushes the tackle right into the ball carrier and flattens the wide zone out and makes the running back bounce to the sideline. When you throw the guy out, the running back just cuts up, even if it's a wide handoff. All right, now watch this. This is part of the brace step. Can you play it, Coach?
You want me to play your voice?
Yes.
Center of gravity. Then here's 3 clips of what I call brace and dip. So the inside foot or the offside foot will drop, which lowers your center of gravity. Then the second step, like here, the right foot for the first guy, will just dip. It'll just kind of come up and down. It lowers your center of gravity again. and you strike. Okay, let's watch this guy right here. Okay, this right guard here. Okay. Okay. See the first step? That lowers your center. That gives you momentum. See the right foot? It just dips on the ground. It does. He's lunging. Okay, this is on a double team. But anyway, I call this a brace and just a dip. Okay, let's go to this guy right here. Okay, let's see him. All right. He drops his left foot and his right foot just dips. You can't see it really, but he's bracing and then he's dipping. And then here's another one of this right guard. This is a great shot. Brace the left foot and then watch your right foot. It just dips or he lunges, okay? This could be on a front side double. It could be a backside combination. Don't worry about what the tackle's doing. I wouldn't do what he's doing. But anyway, watch the right guard. Brace, left foot brace, right knee dip, okay? The right foot doesn't hardly even step, okay? Because the defensive guy's charging at him so fast. This is the best way to lower your center of gravity and strike.
Now, DeCastro, the guy from Pittsburgh, always foot fired first. All right, now
That
watch
means
this here.
Lowering your tail
just before he strikes. You can play the music.
Strike. Here's a clip of gathering. That means lowering your tail before you strike and kind of pausing before the strike. Like I showed when two guys were hitting the two-man sled and gathering themselves. Watch this 73 from Philadelphia. Okay.
The left guard, number 73, kind of a brace and pop. Watch just before he strikes the little dip right there.
Right there. See that little dip?
So
He's
that's
gathering himself.
Brace,
He's not see his feet are rooted. See
just
where his
before
feet
you
are?
strike, you
They're
kinda gather
underneath
yourself.
him. His feet are underneath him as he's moving. Okay.
You strike, you kind of gather yourself.
Here's a clip of
Go to the next
gathering.
one.
That means
You'll see a
lowering your tail before you strike and kind of pausing before the strike. Like I showed when two guys were hitting the two-man sled and gathering themselves. Watch
Okay,
this
you can go to the
73
next
from
one,
Philadelphia. Okay.
The left guard, number 73.
All right. This is how John Strollo, a friend of mine, teaches the circular force, the twerking. You know how, like, you saw those guys
Strollo
throw?
at Ball
He gives them a
State.
very fundamental drill. Okay, you can let her go.
You want to hear your voice?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Here's an intro to the very simple way to teach twerking, twisting, throwing. Okay. This is John Strollo at Ball State. Okay. So again, what you need to do is watch him or watch these guys.
Here's video 37 regarding twerking, okay? Drills, all right? Circular force, all right? The trunk twerking, twisting, okay? Here you're closer to the guy. You might be just twerking with your shoulders, okay? But it's the
Here's an intro to the very simple way to teach twerking, twisting, throwing.
Okay, let her go.
Go to the next one or just let it
Yep.
play?
Next one.
John Strollo did 2-hour clinic.
No. No. We had one. Oh, no. Okay. I guess it's coming later. This is more
Techniques
foot
for
fire.
days. This guy's using, we spend hours on this kind of a drill. We call it foot fire. We do this before we teach any techniques for days. This guy's using some alternate hand work, etc. Okay. So again, firing the feet. Okay. Okay. Now they're going to go through the chutes. Okay. They're firing their feet as if they're going to come off on a linebacker, okay? So they're always, their feet are firing on all blocks, pass or run, okay? Unless the guy's real close to him where they can lunge right away, okay? Okay? Foot fire. Okay? All right. Okay. So that's what always our feet are moving on all blocks, on double team blocks, on zone blocks, etc. The feet never stop.
Okay, next one. All right, somebody asked me about a double team on the nose.
Watch the center. Okay, I'm going to show 2 clips of what to do and what not to do when you double team the shaded nose, or the nose could be head up, okay? Watch the center get all of the nose and keep his helmet backside for the run through, and the right guard use a high leg. That means a forward leg chip so his shoulders are square. All right, so this is what to do, okay? All right. Okay, so watch the center. See how he gets all of the nose guard? He drops his left foot. We call that a brace for leverage, and he'll have his eyes backside. Okay, the right guard, all right, his inside leg should be a little higher, okay, but watch that double team, okay? So on all double teams, in my opinion, one guy should get all of the guy and peek for the linebacker, and the other guy high leg chip, okay? Now here's what not to do, okay? Right here, okay? Watch the center and guard. See how the center only gets half of the guy, see half, and see how the guard gets half, but the right guard's got a good high leg chip, all right? See, when the center only gets half of the guy, you with me? Half of the guy, he's almost picked going to the linebacker, whatever. 53 should, he drops his left foot, which is good, so he lowers his center, but he should get, his right foot should cover the man, okay? Get all of the man, because when you go half and half, many times no one comes off at the backer or they get split, etc. Here it kind of works because the linebacker doesn't really scrape, etc. But one guy get all. Don't do the half and half double team. Don't put this on anything but Twitter.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Coach,
We only got 13 guys.
13 guys watching.
Yeah.
13 guys. I'm going to check to see how many total watched it, Coach, as we've been going. We have had, we've had over 400 watch it since we started on YouTube.
Okay. All right. Watch. All right.
Guy likes to lift your outside wrist. So the blocker was taught to lock his outside arm high on the bicep of the defender and get his hands almost on the guy's wrists before the defender can get his hands on the blocker's outside wrist. So watch 65 lock his outside arm on the bicep where he really catches the wrist and he doesn't allow the guy to lift his wrist. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. So really, see that outside hand? He's actually trying to almost clamp the bicep, but he blocks the outside wrist lift of the defender. Okay, so see how fast that outside hand comes up? And he doesn't allow the defender to lift his wrist. So he neutralizes him, and then eventually the guy gets pancaked, okay? So
Jones.
that's an example of a 1-2. See the inside hand kind of clamp and the outside hand come proactively.
Okay, well, we'll go 5 more minutes, Coach. I guess that'd be 2 hours. All right. That's another way to torque a guy.
Doesn't get hurt with the blocker torquing or twisting or finishing with a throw. Okay, here we go. Notice the rotation of the hips. Notice the long backside arm. Do you guys finish like this? Here's another drill so the defensive guy doesn't get hurt.
Next.
With the blocker torquing or twisting or finishing with.
Now he's fit into the block.
By John Strollo when he was at Ball State. Check out John on YouTube, the smartest guy I know, and he's given me many coaching points. But here he's practicing torquing, throwing. He really emphasized that it's the rotation of the hips, not necessarily the hands, that gives you the power. These are torque drills done by John Strollo when he was at Ball State. Check out John.
No, we'll keep going. All right, watch this. This is hopping back when you get a
with the
stalemate.
Senior Bowl.
This is
Don't worry about his
old,
footwork because I
worry
don't
about his
teach a
footwork.
lead step anymore. Okay. But anyway, watch this guy right here. Okay. When he gets stalemated. Okay. Right. See him hop right there. Okay. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Right there. See him hop back to start over again. I'll run it one more time.
We don't lead step anymore.
Here we
We
go.
take
I'll
a
go
little
slow
drop
motion.
step, which lowers us.
Okay. Right there.
Okay, watch the next one.
This is a clip from like 40 years ago with the Senior Bowl. Don't worry about his footwork because I don't teach.
Okay, so here's a drill to teach that.
Blocker.
The guy on the left is the blocker.
For whatever reason, he gets a little high, or the guy on defense, this guy's the defender, gets under him and starts pushing him back. So as part of the drive block, this guy should not be this high, obviously. He should come out lower, be, down the middle and dip and all that stuff. But because of a drill to show you how to hop, even as part of the drive block sequence, okay, when the guy that's blocking, this guy right here gets a little high and this guy starts shoving him back, watch him hop to reset himself. Okay, here we go. Watch right there. See that little hop? Right there. That resets yourself to start over again. So this should be part of the drive block sequence, okay? You should fit a guy in, have him move about a 3/4 speed drill, and then have the defensive guy really push him back and have the blocker feel what it's like to get stalemated, and then the blocker hops back again, reloads himself, and then continues to drive. It should be part of the drive block drill, okay? Because you're always going to get stalemated usually, particularly if you're playing a bigger guy. So you actually hop back on the running game as you're driving once you get stalemated, or if the defensive guy is bigger, stronger than you and pushes you back, okay? See the hop?
Go to the next one, Coach.
No, let me talk a little bit now. The only thing, yeah, we'll do one more that I want, but flip it up, but don't go to it yet. I want to have a big hand for Coach Taylor here, who sets up all these podcasts. He does 4 or 5 of these a day. This guy should have a full-time job as a full-time assistant coach at a Division I school, or be the head recruiter or whatever. He's done all of this by himself and doesn't get a penny. Don't run it yet. Does not get 1 penny. He would not have me on this podcast if it wasn't for him. And I'm not saying I'm that great. I'm just telling you, he's gotten me over 3,000 clips by himself. He doesn't get 1 penny. So you guys that listen to him when he has other guys on, realize he's doing this by himself. So if there's anybody out there that's listening that is a D1 coach or a college coach, or even he's the head football coach of a good football team in Virginia. So, I mean, it would have to be a pretty good job, but he's done a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I appreciate that, Coach.
This will be the last one. This teaches you how to gather. Okay.
See where the legs are underneath them?
Watch 68. Play the clip. Play the number. I mean, the voice.
This is scooting, staying square, moving laterally when a guy's not right head on with you, so you don't turn your pads on an angle. Watch the dip just before they strike. They drop their hips and they gather, which really gives you explosion.
Gorilla in the zoo.
See where the legs are underneath them?
Watch 62. I think the next one is a real good one. Watch the right tackle, or the widest guy to the right. Watch him dip. Watch that little right there.
See this guy right here? See that little dip? Just before you strike. Okay? So he's trying to get square on the guy. Watch his posture right there. Okay? He's like a gorilla in the zoo. Get long. I'd rather have him get long, but it's hard to push that sled.
Lift. Don't push.
Okay. There it is. See how the butt dips, the back is arched,
Your strongest
and lift walking,
on the ground.
squaring up on the guy, moving laterally so you don't turn your pads on an angle. Square is better.
I don't know if we even have any more.
Have any more clips?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
All right. So Richard Gray said, "Thanks, guys. This was great." Coach Bald, these guys love football. Coach Bald, amen. Coach Taylor's the man. Jim Delaney, thanks, Coach. Appreciate you both. Coach Bald, can't wait till we do this again tomorrow. Then, Coach, is that the Navy SEAL? You didn't have any film of the Navy SEAL, Coach.
Yes, I did.
We saw the Navy SEAL blocking?
Yes, we
Which
saw
one was the Navy SEAL, Coach?
No, you got to go back. You got to keep going to find it. He's number 38.
Did we show it tonight?
Well, just flip through it and see if you see one. You know, go back like we've been doing.
Hey, Coach, you put a lot of clips on Twitter, man.
Yeah, just go back a couple. Might be the first or second one. Number 38, he's playing outside linebacker. Maybe you don't have it.
It's on there.
Okay, put it up.
Wow, Coach. I think you set a record. The most tweets sent. There, I don't see the video. I see him there. That was the first tweet you ever sent was about the Navy SEAL. And
Yeah,
that one,
I thought I sent one with him making a tackle, but must not be on.
I'm going to go through them all. You might have replied to somebody with it.
No. We were trying to get 2,000.
There it is, Coach. Here it is.
Okay, show it. This guy's 30 years old, 6'3", 260, a trained killer, a Navy SEAL. You got it? Everybody be sleeping.
Man, he's getting after it.
Yeah, and he can long snap too. He's a ballistics major and a sharpshooter. But you haven't put it on the screen.
Oh, yeah,
I
Coach.
think he'd be a special teams specialist
You're right.
and a snapper.
I've been going since 7 a.m., Coach. I got to
Because
do
of
another
this
one at
UB
7 a.m.
Navy SEAL, okay, that number 38, playing outside linebacker, okay? And let's see what he does. He kind of goes in and he goes out. Then he tackles the ball carrier. He's a pretty good athlete. He's about 6'3", 260. I think he's down a little weight now because he is a snapper too. And again, 6 years in the Navy SEALs. All right. So he redirected here and he caught the ball carrier. I think he's a pretty good athlete. Spent 4 years at Nebraska, number 38. Okay. And then here's the last of this. I think he'd be a special teams specialist and a snapper. Okay.
He's a Navy SEAL.
A true Navy SEAL.
Let me see if we got any more questions. Coach Bald said the spot is always open for you, Coach. So next time you're in St. Petersburg.
That might be a cold day in hell, which is here every day.
Do you have anything to say, Coach, to anybody out there? You got Scott Curd. Will the Cool Clinic ever be back in person again?
No
My
idea.
first Cool was 2019.
No idea because the hotel rooms are so expensive and the plane trips are so expensive for the guys they bring in that I don't think it'll ever be. It's been completely turned over to Coach Tube and Wade Floyd and Coach Grabowski.
Troy Taylor, which is me, might be putting on an offensive line clinic next year. That will be the offensive line clinic that will end all other offensive line clinics.
Mm-hmm.
In person in Richmond, Virginia. And I will be flying Coach McNally first class. All right.
I'll do it. And that's when you're going to be the next head coach at someplace like University of Virginia, or we'll take James Madison. That'll be okay.
Yeah. Has anybody got any questions for Coach? He's been going since 4 a.m. All right. We've been getting ready for this. He gave you 2 hours of content. Anything else you want to say to these guys, Coach? We're going to come back next Tuesday. We didn't talk about hands in the pass game.
No,
Are
we'll
we gonna-
talk about hands in the pass game. It was more playing long in the run game, shuffling square, shuffling deep, long arm reach, the hook block with a lead outside arm. We didn't do much with the feet, but we did a lot with the squaring up, getting underneath the guy, like the guy from Pittsburgh, number 71, how he got square. He lost ground to his inside, losing ground to gain ground. Same
Yeah.
story that people have been talking about for years.
So should I title this "Playing Long in the Run Game"?
Yes, but I'm
Okay.
disappointed because I'm not disappointed in our crowd, but you told me, Coach, we'd have so many guys that whatever. I don't think we had a big crowd. I don't think there's that much. I think that the people that are here are interested, but I don't think we got a lot of guys that can really understand it. The guys in the crowd can. Well, I mean, the guys in the crowd can, but the guys that aren't in the crowd, it's a little too much for them, I think. I might be
Yeah.
wrong.
We had 409 people watched.
Yeah, but
clinic
how much
tonight.
did they watch? One play?
Yeah. Coach, you don't know anything else. You can't dumb it down. They got to get to your level.
Well, I like to cover a lot of things, and we hit on more than one point.
Yeah, we did, Coach. All right, so everybody, we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Coach will be back. Hands in the run game.
Pass game.
My fault. Hands in the pass game. Hands in the pass game. Coach, get some
You been-
rest.
You been smoking any dope today, or what you on?
Coach, I've been going. You saw what I was doing. I was sitting in a room trying to keep guys from beating their head against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
We got to get you a better job.
You're the best. You're the best, Coach. All right, everybody, we'll see y'all next Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Hands in the pass game. Bye.